Okay, so welcome to this divine message. I was sitting here writing and I got this nudge to just tap into the information I'm feeling from the collective energies right now. What I strongly pick up is the word home, needing to redefine home, because I'm picking up that a few of you are feeling almost stuck. And I see this like visual of like there's two pathways. Like there's one that's going left, one that's going right. And then ahead, you might think that these crossroads are kind of like almost like a dead end, like a T. But I'm getting there's more ahead. But right now it seems foggy because there's a part of you in your nervous system that is still living out the idea that there's only two ways to go. Yeah, that's it. That there's only two ways to go. And home for you was not a safe space. So there's this fear that you have that you feel, oh, okay, wait. Okay, this is the clearer message. So you grew up in a narcissistic home, and the way your parents made you believe you needed them, or the way they almost like tied you to a leash. I'm getting like dog on a leash. I'm getting this circus. What's coming up there is the elephant. Okay, so I'll tell you this elephant story. Thank you. There's an elephant story that I grew up learning about, this like mental capacity and being able to understand your strength. When they send elephants to the circus for training, they tie them to the like the strongest chain when they are still younger, and they push 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 and they can't get through it. And they do it so often, like it becomes this daily habit that they just know that no matter how hard they try to get away, that they are not strong enough, because that mental chain or that actual physical chain that's around them, which represents the mental chain, is stronger than them. That's the belief. So there's this belief that your parents are stronger than you, right? They have made themselves appear. They've given themselves this sort of, I'm getting like hierarchy, the sense of like you needing to worship them. Like they loved this sense of like worship. They loved seeing you suffer. I'm getting that. And I'm getting like the sense that even when you asked for help, there was this almost like this deliberate not giving you the access, not giving. There was the parents that you come from have were very deliberately causing suffering on purpose, so that because they knew your energy and your power, that because it was so abundant, if they made it appear as if it was them that gave you access, you would need to return home, even though it is not safe. So you go back to the elephant story, and even when the elephant grows stronger, it gets to the point where it doesn't move. Well, obviously it moves. That sounds weird. It doesn't necessarily try get out of the situation, even though the chains are like looser, or they remain the same even in their bigness and greatness. So perhaps I'm also picking up elephant, ndlovu. Okay, maybe there's like a South African, a link to I'm getting okay, Kenya's coming up. Someone in Kenya. I'm getting maybe home is Kenya for some of you, or some of you, your home, your new home will be Kenya. Take it for what it is. Kenya, so perhaps just observe that for yourself if you've been wanting to move. Some of you, I'm getting like wildlife, like living in the wilderness. I'm getting like resort. Maybe one of you are planning a resort. Some of you are going to live on a resort. Maybe there's a resort in Kenya. I don't know if this links for you, let me know. But I'm getting Kenya. Safari. So maybe I'm picking up someone from Australia. This is so interesting. I'm picking up someone from the UK. I am picking up someone from the States specifically. I'm picking up Florida. I'm also picking up Canada, Toronto. Okay, so some of you have been planning like a wilderness to go out into nature, living out in nature. Maybe that's what home is for you as you get to redefine it. But basically, you at this point, as you can see how the reading has journeyed from where we said, I saw you at a crossroads. I see this image of this like little child in a crossroad. And it's just foggy up ahead. There's more options ahead. And I'm getting, there was this time, let me just like reflect on this. There was this time that it was so foggy where I was staying, but it was so beautiful. And I remember taking this picture. I was like at the bus stop, and it was just like foggy in town. And it was just really, really beautiful that day. And as I took this picture, it just reminded me of how beautiful it is when it appears that it appears foggy. So I'm going to give you a different perspective on this perhaps mental cloudiness, mental fogginess, lack of clarity, stuckness that you might be feeling, the sense of feeling caged. I'm getting like this feeling like fear is holding you back, and you fearing going back into the old habits of unsafety and relying on what was comforting because it has become such a habit, and if you came from that home that I was describing earlier, that there's words that were said to you that they tried to overpower you with. We are going to cancel those words right now, just in prayer, if we can. Thank you for this divine opportunity to come to the space where we can clear anything, any words that are of low vibrational energy. We clear that energy out. And as we look at this crossroads and we see this fog of an opportunity looking ahead, that we allow ourselves to take the step forward. We see this opportunity as a gift that we don't have to look any further than what the fog is making us see. That this next phase of life, we open up ourselves to trust. We open up ourselves to play. And that we trust that in moving forward, of being able to observe what is only necessary, it is a gift to us. So we welcome that. And I just cancel any words that were put over your life, that spoke death over your life. I cancel those words right now. I remove any cords that are tied to any low vibrational entity, institution, industry, constitution. I remove your need to be dependent on any narcissistic energy. We clear the wounds of the empath that felt and absorbed within the narcissism. And we restore you back to your factory settings. Thank you for your divine presence. Thank you for divine protection, divine guidance. Thank you for divine support everywhere. And now I'm getting this image like swirling. I picked up not long ago about like the Fibonacci sequence, if you've been following. This like sort of like daily divinations. The Fibonacci is almost like this. It's a contraction and it's an expansion. And it's this moment where I'll say there was one time I was on a journey with some plant medicine and I saw the earth breathing. It was the most beautiful thing. And it just felt that like as I lay on the grass, I could just appreciate like this is the belly of the earth that we stand on. Do you know what I mean? It's the belly of the earth that gives us life, like that breath, that expansion, that breath in and that breath out. I cried because I was just like, this is life. This is what it's all about, the simplicity of being in nature. So we tie that in. So I'm getting you are going to be in a place that has a lot of nature, or where you're going as you begin to observe these little clues, little cues as they go along. These little cues. So there's an opportunity for you now to redefine what home is. And the method that you can use is, I said this the other day, that you got to write it down. So write down what it is not. Write down what home is definitely not. And you'll get to know what it is. Because right now I'm kind of getting like, you have it, like when I mean everything, you have everything you need to move forward. And it's as simple as talking to yourself through the divine, going into nature, meditation, writing, listening to music, taking a topic, asking a question, and then just the first thing that comes to mind is kind of just like feeding yourself into that, you know. So redefine what home is for you, and redefine what love is for you. Redefine what health is for yourself. Redefine what work is for yourself now. Because right now, as you're looking at this sort of like crossroads, that image of like either go left or right, there's more options than what you've come from. And I think you swirling around in the typical options is what was your safety net. You need to now create a new safety net. And what I'm getting is you already have it. You already have it. You've built that mental capacity, the physical capacity, the spiritual capacity, the emotional capacity to move forward, to journey with the people that your soul is supposed to connect to next. So ask empowering questions of where is home. Some of you might be so tied to home being where you are. And I'm getting that where you are, you never knew that it could be a possibility for you to be there. So open yourself up to infinite possibilities. And I'm getting something happened to you in 2011. I'm getting 2011, or some of you, something happened to you when you were 21. There was something that switched, like I'm getting a glitch. There was a glitch in the matrix for you. And it was almost like fish bait. Like you thought you were going here, or you thought you needed to do something, or you thought it was going to be this person. And then the matrix glitched on you, and then everything turned you into where you might be now, or where you're going to next. And I'm getting that situation is going to be very similar to now. You got to open up yourself to infinite possibilities. And what I'm definitely getting is that home, like where you are, you can visit. But home is going to be somewhere even more magical than you've ever thought. So open up yourself to just listen and tap into these divine messages and listen to where you are being guided. And yeah, I just wish you all the best.